All right, this isn't earth-shattering news, but AOC and Bernie have been caught flying around on private jets on Earth Day to fight the oligarchy. So, okay, AOC, Bernie, they're on their little plane saying we got to fight the oligarchy. Is this earth-shattering news? No. It's funny to laugh at because sometimes you gotta laugh at these hypocrites, just like that, just like some of these evangelical preachers who go on private planes, their little PJs, their private jets, because oh no, they don't want to be with the masses, because here's the thing, maybe this is me, okay, but if I was like a big time preacher or something of that nature, I'd be like, yes, we must be among the people, because I didn't see. Yeah, I've never heard the story of Jesus Christ, like, saying, put me in a cart. I don't want to be with the people. No, he walked he walked in the alleys, he walked in the streets, as the story goes, going to everyone, the sick, the disabled, the poor, the lowest of us. He went to them all. And that's what you should do, not take a private jet. And same thing goes for these politicians, private jets. Now I get it. Maybe there's security. Okay, whatever. But it's just one of these moments where we can just laugh at the hypocrites, because remember, AOC and Bernie are saying that Trump is bad for climate. Hey, was that AOC? Was that Baby Bear? Baby Bear! Baby Bear! There it is, the private jet. Bernie! Bernie! What are you doing? That doesn't stop climate change. What would happen if Trump found out about this? There's Bernie and AOC. There they are. Oh my God. Tiberius Monk, Captain Planet is not pleased to see this. Also, Tiberius Monk, listen, buddy, my friend, my friend, my friend of the show. You know what? Just a little bit off. This is not related to the segment, but I gotta do a watch party for Succession now because I'm starting to rewatch season 1, and that infamous showdown with Gil, the quasi Bernie Sanders character in that show. Oh, it's pure gold. And don't get me wrong, Logan Roy is a scumbag, but you know what? He's my scumbag. Don't get burnt again. That's what peace stuff says. Don't get burnt again. Don't get burnt again. So what went down? What went down? So on Earth Day 2025, a moment intended to highlight the urgency of climate action. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is facing fierce backlash after being caught boarding a luxury private jet. Who paid for that? Who? A bird goes tweet and an owl goes who? The timing could not have been more explosive. Just as climate-conscious voters marked April 22nd with the calls to curb emissions, AOC, a self-described environmental warrior, was photographed stepping out aboard a carbon-spewing Bombardier Challenge jet on her Fight the Oligarchy tour with Senator Bernie Sanders. According to Fox News report published on April 21st, the progressive duo used the jet to leapfrog across western states, hitting cities like Salt Lake City, Bakersfield, Sacramento in under a week. Oh my goodness. The estimated cost over $77,000 for roughly 5 hours of flight time. That bill is allegedly being footed in part by taxpayer dollars and political committee funds, an irony not lost on their critics. AOC, who has long positioned herself as a leading figure in climate justice movement, previously condemned the use of private jets in no uncertain terms. In 2023, she took to social media to slam corporate executives, asking, for real, how many private jets do these CEOs need? It is insatiable. It is unacceptable. Well, I don't know. I mean, look, you're using one too, AOC. Come on. But critics say the Congresswoman is now living out the very behavior she once scorned. Private jets emit an estimated 10 to 20 times more CO2 per passenger than, oh my goodness, than commercial flights, according to data from the European Federation of Transport and Environment. In one 5-hour private flight, Bombardier Challenge can produce over 25 metric tons of CO2, the equivalent of what the average American emits in an entire year. The blatant contradiction is fueling accusations of hypocrisy from both sides of the political aisle. The National Republican Congressional Committee quickly labeled AOC and Sanders as champagne socialists, just like Hassan, mocking their calls to rein in corporate greed while flying in what amounts to a luxury airborne boardroom. So who paid for the flights? Financial records reveal that Sanders' campaign's armed friends of Bernie Sanders spent over $221,000 on private jet travel in the first quarter of 2025 alone. Listen, before anyone starts wagging fingers, you have Democrat and Republican politicians doing the same thing, spending far much more. Not defending Bernie or AOC, but just throwing it out there. While the campaign finance disclosures for AOC's trip on the jet have not been released, her participation on the same aircraft raises serious questions about whether taxpayer money or political donations intended for grassroots outreach were used to fund the high-flying luxury trip. It's a double standard. It's a double standard on Earth Day. What would Captain Planet say? What would he say right now? If I was Captain Planet, I would look sad. I would, you know what? It's not good. It's hilarious to watch, but believe you me, it's not good. Not good at all. But there you go.
If you fool me once, it's because I didn't think a guard was needed. If you fool me twice, it's because I didn't learn the lesson, so it bears repeating. If you try the same play 3 times running, it's because you know what's coming, and you didn't come to lead, you came to purposefully be misleading. Democracy is dry. It's been a century bleeding. The husk is gaping open to the sky, out in the field where all the sheep just keep on circling and worrying and bleeding. They're waiting for the shepherd that they've tried to hide their faith in, but he's so appealing. They'd gladly give their fleece. It's such a freeing feeling that even when he leads them to the ledge and starts to urge them on, they're positively beaming. They were told that they were on their way to save democracy, so even as they plummet, they just gloat. They don't consider screaming. And halfway up the cliff, the shepherd's cozy little mittens wrap around the staff of shattered human hopes on which he's leaning. He shows the gentle grin that used to stir your inner spark, and he says, "Not me, us," as he gestures to the oligarchs. He knows that if he runs, they're going to stop him like a stolen car. And he'll easily surrender because it bought a lot of time for laying mines in all the grassroots. Suddenly, the tiniest of movements gets you blown apart. Suddenly, you're in a play that's set on an election day and voting for the fire, unaware you're playing Joan of Arc. Suddenly, the shepherd pulls the rug and slips a hood across your clueless mug, and everything goes zero dark. I'm gonna warn you once more before it's 2024 and you fuck around and find out who your heroes are. To take a step back from the herd, and you'll learn that you can spot who all the shearers are. If you really want to know the product that they're selling, I can take you where the mirrors are. If you think your voice is finally ready, I can tell you where the lyrics are. I hid them in a box I had to bury neath the cobble when they carpet bombed the promenade and raided all the street bazaars. Now all we've got's the marketplace, and you're too broke to even bother asking what the options for your treatment are. Suddenly, the raw debris of homeless human dignity will find it has 100 teeth for every badge and sweeper's arm. Suddenly, they speak in solidarity and each is armed. Suddenly, the sheep can see the shepherd for his truest form and all pitch in at once to help him buy the farm. And now it's zero dark, and all is calm and peaceful save the distant wail of sirens that approach beside the flames of dawn. Suddenly, the carrot's just a string that's on a stick, and all your movements make you sick because the prize is gone. Now, we could go and flee into the forest low and meek, or we could exercise our right to feast and go and graze on Biden's lawn. Because he's been sowing seeds that seep a toxin out to sap a bit from each of us and keep on leaching decades after Biden's gone. So regardless who they summon out of hell to come and do the job, it will not feel like Biden's gone. But in that time of hopelessness, you cannot trust the shepherd when he once again comes asking you to humor him his siren song. And it's cute that you can innocently, honestly assume that's just a symptom of a system that was wired wrong, and not the standard feature, basic function, primary objective of a mass hypnosis firebomb. You don't need to know the words to cry along. Someday it'll hit you like an officer who pistol whipped their ride along. Broke his jaw and kept his job and kept it moving right along. That voting isn't red or blue or black or white or right or wrong. Voting's like a firing squad where you can choose the firearm. It's slow extinction by and large. It's Super Tuesday supercharged. It's all your futures, roots and all, just tossed out on a garbage barge. It's everybody dropping out to push the biggest oligarch. It's everybody voting fire, registered as Joan of Arc.